Tabletop RPGs are growing in popularity, and recently I've seen new players interested in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Some are brand new to the hobby, but many are veterans from other games, primarily Dungeons & Dragons 5th Editions. This is not a comparison video, but an introduction to Pathfinder 2nd Edition system mechanics. It may or may not be the game for you. I'll let you decide that. If someone you know who is new to Pathfinder 2nd Edition or is curious as to what it is about, please share this video. If you like this content, please remember to subscribe. Now, let's dive on in. Pathfinder 2nd Edition is a tabletop role-playing game. What that means is that you, as a player, will create and design a unique character who you take the role and make decisions for as a game master or GM. Puts you in different challenges and scenarios. You work together as a team of other players to overcome obstacles and challenges. To begin, you will need to build a character in the Pathfinder 2nd Edition system. There are already a ton of options despite it being a relatively new game, and these options may seem overwhelming. It is best to start with a general concept of what you want to play. Unlike Pathfinder 1st Edition or Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, your hit points and ability boost are all designed around your choices. There are no dice rolling involved, there are no point buys, it is made up completely of your decisions. Pathfinder 2nd Edition has broken this character creation into ABCs of character creation. This stands for Ancestries, Background, Classes. And within these three categories, there are a multitude of other choices to make. The first is Ancestry. If you're coming from Dungeons & Dragons or from Pathfinder 1st Edition, you will know these as races. Currently in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, there are 22 ancestries to choose from, and they are continuing to build their repertoire. For an example, I will choose Human. Once we pick our ancestry, we can then pick the heritage to go with our ancestry, adding even more customization and flavor. Each of these heritages can add additional abilities to your character. For this example, we can choose from either the human heritage, or we can choose one of the versatile heritage, which is a template that we can place on any ancestry that we choose. For example, if you want to be a dwarf tiefling, you can make that character. To further customize your creation, you pick an ancestry feat at first level. This can be either from your core ancestry or from one of the versatile heritages that you selected. The ones shown are from the human ancestry. Your next choice in character creation is your choice of background. There are far too many backgrounds to cover in this video. However, each background is unique. It will grant you 2 ability boosts, a skill feat, and train proficiency rank and 2 skills, one of which will be a lore skill. We will cover proficiencies later in this video. And finally, for your character creation will be your choice of class. There are currently 16 classes to choose from in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, with 4 more coming out later this year, so it is a very exciting time for Pathfinder. Each class is unique, but they all give you an ability boost as well as additional hit points. Each class also has initial proficiencies related to that class. Pathfinder 2nd Edition offers a unique way of character creation. As you can see, we did not roll a single die to determine ability boosts, nor did we use any point buy systems. It removes randomization and gives you a plethora of options and customization. The downfall is that this can be quite overwhelming for many new players. Some people like this form and others do not. Another mechanic unique to Pathfinder 2nd Edition is their Proficiency System. This applies to nearly all skill checks, attack rolls, and DCs. The formula is as follows. Untrained is your ability modifier only. Trained is 2 plus your level plus your ability modifier. Expert is 4 plus your level plus your ability modifier. Master is 6 plus your level plus your ability modifier. And Legendary is 8 plus your level plus your ability modifier. In an example of a fighter who is an expert in perception, this can give him a +5 to perception checks at level 1. 4 because he is expert plus his level of 1, but he has 0 wisdom, giving us a total of a +5 to perception. Assuming that our fighter is using a simple or martial weapon, he will have a +9 to his melee attack rolls. This is a 4 for being an expert at those weapons, plus his level 1, and a +4 to his strength, giving us a total of a +9 to his melee attack. We'll also give him a +7 to his athletics, because he is trained in athletics, giving him a +2, plus his level of 1, +4 in strength, for a total of +7. Your proficiency will relate directly to my next topic, the 4 degrees of success. When you attempt to overcome a challenge, there are 4 degrees of success that should be considered. Normally, you will be rolling a 20-sided dice and adding your proficiency levels to this check. This includes skill checks and attack rolls. A critical success is determined by 10 or more above the difficulty class of the attempt you are trying. A success is equal to the DC or up to 9 above the DC. A critical failure is 9 or less below the DC, and a critical failure is 10 or more below the DC. If you happen to roll a natural 20, that is, you roll a 20-sided dice and 20 comes up as the result, it does raise the level of success by 1 degree. If you roll a 20-sided dice and the result is 1, a natural 1, this lowers the success by 1 degree. This is very important as it determines the outcome of many of your skill checks, your spells, and your attack rolls. Yet another important role, especially in combat, is conditions. Conditions are buffs or debuffs that can greatly affect the results of your attack rolls or other skill checks. Many conditions have a numerical value assigned to them, such as a +1 or +2 to hit, or a -1 or a -2 to your armor class. Frighten, for example, can lower the armor class of an opponent as well as their ability to strike. Many magical items will also grant you an item bonus. Sometimes these can be applied to skill checks, but more often you have a magical weapon, which can add a +1, 2, or a +3, in rare cases even a +4, to your attacks. This, in combination with your proficiency, plus what you roll on a 20-sided dice, determines the result of that strike. Your choice of weapon is also important, not only for the amount of damage that it does, but for also additional traits that that weapon may have, such as reach or trip or even backstab. Another element that is important and unique to Pathfinder 2nd Edition is the 3-action economy. During combat on your turn, you may perform 3 actions. These can be stride, strike, recall knowledge, a multitude of other things. Many times the thing that you wish to attempt are 1 action. Many spells are 2 actions. There are, of course, variations to this, but you may, on your turn, for example, stride 3 times, or you can even stand and strike 3 times. You may move, strike, move, strike, move, move. The combinations are endless. Additionally, there are free actions that do not cost an action to perform, but must be performed on your turn. And there are reactions. You may perform 1 reaction per round when it is not your turn, but when a specific trigger is met. Our fighter, for example, has 2 reactions at level 1, Attack of Opportunity and Shield Block. He will have to choose which of these reactions, if any, he will take during that round. An Attack of Opportunity is triggered when a creature within your reach uses a manipulation action or a move action, makes a ranged attack, or leaves a square during a move action it is using. It should be noted that not all creatures get Attack of Opportunity in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. If you wish to strike 3 times on your turn, you do incur what is known as the multiple attack penalty. Normally this is a -5 to your 2nd attack and a -10 to your 3rd attack. Speaking of shields, they are also unique to Pathfinder 2nd Edition. They are not a passive bonus to your armor class as they have been in previous editions. Instead, you must spend 1 action to raise your shield. If you also have the shield block ability, you can absorb a good bit of damage by your shield. This has been a general overview of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition core rules and mechanics. It may seem very overwhelming to some players, but other players find this as very enticing and are excited about the multitude of options that are available to them. In Pathfinder 2nd Edition, you as a player are expected to know what you can do based on the choices you have made during character creation and the items you have acquired. In many cases, the GM may have forgotten about certain abilities or items that your character possesses. On the other hand, Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition has a more relaxed approach, which is inviting to many new players. It requires less involvement from the players and more control by the Dungeon Master. Some players will prefer this method over Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So what did I miss? What are your questions about Pathfinder 2nd Edition? Are you wanting to play this, or would you rather stick with a system that you already know, such as Pathfinder 1st Edition or Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And always, happy gaming.